A very important meeting of the British-Irish Inter-Parliamentary Assembly was held recently at the Royal Hospital in Kilmainham in Dublin, and the co-chairperson of that assembly is Carrigart Deputy Joe McHugh. Sean Perry reports.
The British-Irish Parliamentary Assembly met recently at the Royal Hospital in Kilmainham to focus on the future of work in both jurisdictions. Co-chair of the Assembly is Donegal North East TD Joe McHugh from Carrigart.
It was set up in 1990 and the specific purpose was to get people talking, politicians who otherwise mightn't have even sat in the same room. So that was the initial purpose, build up relationships. But we've gone beyond that now. This is our 48th plenary, we meet twice a year, and we've moved to a position of engagement where we're trying to engage on common platforms and common policy, and with the obvious and ultimate objective of trying to provide jobs in our respective constituents. The world is changing, very fast. And we're not competing just with our neighbouring parish or neighbouring county anymore. And what we feel as a body is if we can compete on the international stage on both the north, south and east, west basis, that'll put us in a competitive advantage over our competitors at a global level. The British are willing to learn from the Irish, and certainly we have a lot to learn from the British. And certainly the mood and atmosphere there today, it's talking about collaboration, but they're also talking about competition. We're still in competition with each other, but I think the new buzzword is a combination of both. Co-opetition is the one I've heard recently, and I think we're better working together because the British, they are our closest political friends, they are our closest political allies, and certainly we have to build on the post-visit by the Queen here, the state visit in 2011, and while the relationship is quite strong at the moment, like any relationship, you have to keep working at it.
Lawrence Robertson MP is co-chairman of the Assembly. He used the opportunity to emphasise the importance of the British-Irish relationship.
I mean, BIPA, you could say, well, it's a talking shop in some ways, and I don't take that as a criticism, because speaking to each other, given the history of these islands, is important. In Northern Ireland, for example, it's crucially important that people talk to each other, even if they don't necessarily reach conclusions, even if they don't necessarily agree on everything. The talking aspect, the getting together, is very important.
Mr. Robertson also highlighted the importance of remembering the men and women from Ireland who died in the First World War. This was marked for the first time by the Assembly at a wreath-laying ceremony at the National War Memorial Gardens in Island Bridge.
Well, I think it's very important that we recognise what happened then 100 years ago, and we're going to take it actually further. Today is very important, but we're going to take it further as well. In the next plenary session of the British Irish in October, we'll be based in Kent, and we'll actually visit Flanders for a day, a very long day, to commemorate the fact that British and Irish soldiers fought together against dictatorship in Europe, and fought against that, and that is very important to remember that. But we see it very seriously, and that's why take it very seriously. That's why we're holding the event in October as well. But today is important. It's quite moving to be involved in these things, and a privilege to be in the position to be able to recognise what did happen all those many years ago.
Sean Perry for Donegal TV at the British-Irish Parliamentary Assembly in Kilmainham.